Hey everybody. Tonight we're going to move on from decimals for a little bit and we are going to talk about fractions. Now we've already talked about fractions a little bit. We talked about how we have the numerator on top, right? And how we have the denominator on the bottom. And remember, we also talked about how that fraction bar actually means division, and that's going to be super important later on tonight. So an improper fraction, all an improper fraction is when the numerator is greater than the denominator, right? Normally we have a smaller numerator like we do up here, right? This fraction is less than 1, but when the numerator is bigger than the denominator, we actually have a fraction that's greater than 1. And then a mixed number is when we have a whole number with a fraction. So anytime you see a whole number out in front of a fraction, we actually don't count this number as a fraction right here. This is not a fraction, this is a mixed number. Sometimes this year we're going to want to write a number as an improper fraction because improper fraction can sometimes be easier to work with. Other times we're going to want to write our answers as mixed numbers because mixed numbers sometimes make more sense in the real world. Think about it, saying that you're going to run 7/5 of a mile doesn't really make that much sense. It'd be more appropriate to talk about it as a whole number of miles and then an additional fraction. So we have to be able to move back and forth between these two forms. Now the way we do that from improper fractions to mixed numbers is just by using division, right? 7/5 is the same as 7 divided by 5. And what we need to do is figure out how many times does 5 go into 7, right? We know 5 goes into 7 once. And we know that we have a remainder of 2. So when we divide 7 by 5, we have one whole, and we have a remainder of 2. There's 2 parts left over out of the 7. So our whole number then is 1, and our fraction is 2/5. Right? We had the one whole because 5 went into 7 once, a remainder of 2 because 7 minus 5 is 2, and then we have our original denominator, 1 2/5. We're going to do the same thing in example B here. Now, 4 goes into 9 twice, dividing 9 by 4. So our answer is 2, and our remainder, so your 4 goes into 9 twice, 4 times 2 is 8, and 9 minus 8 gives us 1. There's a remainder of 1. So our whole number is 2, and our fraction is 1/4. 2 1/4 is the same as 9/4. And in example C, we're going to do the same thing now in this case. 24 divided by 7. 7 goes into 24 3 times. And I know 7 times 3 is 21, which means my remainder is going to be 3. So my whole number is 3, and my remainder just goes above my denominator. So here is my mixed number, 3 3/7. We can also go back the other way. We can also go from mixed numbers to improper fractions. Sometimes that'll be helpful because improper fractions are easier to add, subtract, multiply, and divide. So to do that, our first step is we have to multiply the denominator by the whole number. So 2 times 5 gives us 10, and then we add that to the numerator. So 2 times 5 is 10, plus 3 is 13/5. That's all we have to do, just those 2 steps, and we get our answer. So example E, it's going to be very similar. 8 times 1, and then we add 7. So 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 is 15. So 15/8. Our denominator does not change. Finally, for example F, 5 times 3, and then plus 4. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 4 is 19/5. That is all you have to do. Multiply the denominator by the whole number, add it to the numerator, and we're going to get the right answer every time.